I married the nice guy and I'm now regretting it. Obviously a throwaway account. I've been married to my now husband for nearly 10 years and I cannot ask for a nicer man. He cares for me emotionally. Calls, text me every day to say how much he loves and appreciates me. He is the typical nice guy who treats all women as they deserve. And he is the first nice guy I've dated who is emotionally available and genuinely caring. However, ever since the beginning we have had okay sex. I have always been adventurous in the bedroom and love a good time. However, over the years my drive has increased and his has pretty much become non-existent. We have spoken about this multiple times over the years and nothing we discuss has actually made a difference. Talking about threesomes his fantasy, however, when I actually set these dates up with the other girl, he changes his mind and says no, he just isn't in the mood. I've asked if he is still sexually attracted to me, 178 centimeters and only 62 kilograms, and he says yes every time. I've asked if he would be interested in just foreplay to get the mood going and says no, he feels like he is disrespecting me if I give a blowjob. When we do have sex, it's very vanilla missionary sex that lasts maybe 10 minutes, then he tells me how amazing it was and how much he loves our connection. I'm getting to the point where I am starting to fantasize about sexual encounters with strangers and feeling like I settled. Did I make a mistake or is this something that can be changed? Is this normal? It probably has nothing to do with his being a nice guy and everything to do with his having a low sex drive. Being a nice guy and having a low sex drive are not correlated with one another. Low sex drive can happen to anyone at any time. What the hell is he being a nice guy got to do with a low sex drive? Face with rolling eyes, face with rolling eyes. That has nothing to do with being nice. I'm only saying this because a reply to your deleted comment implies you're interested in this path. From personal experience, do not open your relationship. It will likely ruin everything. Why is nice guy in quotes if he's actually a nice guy? Lol. I assumed this was one of those dudes who thinks he's a nice guy but is actually not nice at all. That's typically what is meant by nice guy. Same situation here. But I just satisfy my own needs. My fiancé is amazing and I will never leave him just because of the sex part. We talk about it sometimes. And he just says he is not that adventurous. It's okay. Because nobody is perfect. Please. Just talk to him about it. Not in the typical I want and why don't you etc. But open and understanding. I feel like. And I would like to know. He obviously loves you to the moon and back. So he will already know there is something wrong. Maybe it will feel like a relief for him and for you to talk about it. Get counseling. Stop asking Reddit questions that Redditors don't have the knowledge to answer. Your situation is very specific and contextual, especially with 19 years together. No internet stranger can help you. I've asked if he would be interested in just foreplay to get the mood going and says no, he feels like he is disrespecting me if I give a blowjob. Did you notice this is a very specific indication? It tells you there is a psychological issue, possibly due to his education or something. It also gives you a specific starting point to work on rather than just trying sex. It is probably time to involve a therapist to get him out of that mindset. I had a similar situation with my wife where for years I was super horny and she wasn't. Now she is snapping out of it and after years of nothing she wants it again. I am just not into it. I personally take care of myself in that area. Not judging people who stray from their marriage, but for me cheating and hurting a person you have been with a long time isn't worth it for just busting a nut. You know your husband sounds like a great man, he just seems to lack a sex drive. Don't you dare Cheat on him. If you ever intend to cheat, then get a divorce. Testosterone levels may be low. Send him to a doc to get them checked. If a man wrote this post, the response would obviously be like, stop being a pervert asshole to her wife. Man, just masturbate if you have urges. But somehow it's not the same if a woman writes it. People are open to suggesting sleeping with other partners, open relationships, getting boyfriend, cucking. It's rough being a man. No one is to be blamed. Although man does seem a bit annoying with him being too nice. Maybe he thinks you like it when he is being nice? IDK. You either live for pleasure or satisfaction in life, choose one. Neither is wrong. Throwaway account as well, 'cause I'm an asshole. Lol, gotta love it. Another guy that treats his woman right but is about to lose her because his sex drive is low. If a woman has a low sex drive, deal with it and respect her. A man though? Hell no. Time to cheat. 10 years. That poor dude. Maybe he needs to get his testosterone levels checked. Tell him to get his testosterone levels checked. I felt the same way too with my partner, just not interested in sex at all. I would give her oral pleasure to keep her happy, but I wasn't interested in the favor in return. I now use testosterone replacement therapy and our sexy life is great again. You married a nice guy. Too bad he didn't marry a nice lady. Time for a doc consult for his libido. A couples counselor. And an individual counselor for you. Trust me, authentic nice guys are hard to find. And worth their weight in gold. You may think the grass is greener with a bad boy. But it's not. And you think if you married the asshole you do be having great sex? That's hilarious. Testosterone. Get his levels checked then treated. Makes a world of difference for libido and overall health. Dude, you got 9 out of 10. I think you hit the jackpot. Be happy. Sab kuch nahi milta hai. All girls want bad boys apparently. There are no good men anymore. Just a low sex drive and you might not be sexually compatible also. I can't get past him thinking a blowjob is disrespecting you. For once I am surprised by the internet, haha. Some of the nicest guys I have met were the most wacky sex-hungry demons that always wanted more. And tried so many things I couldn't even understand how one would think of to do those loudly crying, so perhaps there's something else going on with your husband. Physiologically and psychologically? How is the communication between the two of you? If he was open to a three-way, and he isn't in the mood. If you're into girls, do it anyway and let him watch. Ask if it is okay to have a three-way with a guy. Again, he can just watch if that's all he wants to do and he isn't in the mood. Maybe he's interested in having a female lead relationship. Talk to him about different kinks. Maybe he doesn't have a name for what he really wants. Trust me, there are a lot of married men who feel that they can't bring these things up to their wives. Especially if he thinks that receiving a blowjob would be disrespectful to you. Just tell him how you are feeling and how you're starting to fantasize about strangers and you think your sex life is very vanilla. There's no better outcome from an honest, blunt conversation. That's the only way to find out. I'm so glad my husband and I are both vanilla. Also, him being a nice guy isn't relevant. It seems he has a low sex drive. Not everyone wants to share. He could be depressed. Not entirely relevant, but it's really odd to put your height and weight as if there's boundaries to being attractive. As if we'd be like, oh, maybe he's not attracted to her anymore. Oh, never mind, she's 178 and only 62 kilograms, so that can't be it. Just really odd and disappointing to think women still think like this. And that's coming from a woman who's 172 centimeters and only 65 kilograms. I totally understand. You need a man that will choke and dick slap you. Communicate this with your husband.